All right, check 1, 2. What's up, disc golf fans? I'm Cassidy Houdeshel, and I'm joined here by fellow cameraman Ranger Peterson.
Check it out. Lead Card Productions. Yeah.
Represent. To bring you coverage of the 19th annual Creekside Open, presented by Prodigy Disc, and numerous other generous sponsors: Megan Wellness Center, DG Nomad, Failed Tree Service, Played Against Sports, Team Utah, Nugda, and those are just to name a few. Alright, on the lead card, brought to you by Lead Card Disc Golf Productions, we have Kevin Hand, Tyson Sagboy, Mike Loya, local Josh Newton, and leading by one after 2 rounds is Chris Adiego at 15 under. On Sunday, the players were challenged by an 18-hole, half safari, half traditional Creekside layout designed by Mike Milne. So we'll head over to hole 9, a 459-foot par 3, one of the first safari holes, from the tee pad of 9 to the basket of 13 long. Yeah, what is it going? It's good old commentary going on.
Chris Adiego, not to be confused with Adagio.
That's right.
And
Adiego from north of San Diego. That's how I remember it.
Oh. You know, I heard him say it to I think it was ABC4 News when they came to interview one of the players.
Yeah, that was great. And you'll see that later. The cameraman gets like right in all the players' faces on their drives. It's like,
yeah.
You're kind of invading their space a little bit.
It's cool. It's important to work well under pressure.
That's right. And allow any media to capture you playing disc golf at any time.
That's right. Be okay with the fact that the sport is going to get popular and that more people are going to play and get better than you, and you will end up like a bed bug.
Yeah, and it was the sports producer. I talked to the cameraman who even told him to go out and shoot disc golf. And I was like, well, that's cool. The sports producer's like, we need to go shoot some disc golf.
Yeah. Well, not much going on a Mother's Day in Salt Lake City.
Yeah, just didn't make the playoffs.
Anyway, these guys are playing disc golf right now.
I don't know why Kevin went for the roller here. I mean,
Yeah.
Backhand roller, there's a creek on the right side. You know it's going to burn out over there. That being said, he's thrown a lot more better rollers than I have.
Yeah, he's just a creek away from not being parked.
Here's Tyson. I really like how he uses the skip there to get closer to the basket, take the water out of play. Josh kind of put the water in play by being that far left on his drive. Whereas these guys like Chris, he takes the water all out of play just by being on the right side of the fairway on this big par 4. Big par 3. Big par 3.
There's Mike Loya with another sinker.
Josh Newton, that seems to be his money distance. 28 feet.
Yeah, I don't see him miss that often.
So Kevin Hand just kind of suffering the worst of it on the first hole of the final round by going in the river off the tee.
Yeah, second guessing that roller, I'm sure.
It's tough to go lay down a roller first shot of the tournament, first hole of the day.
Well, if I had a camera guy following me, I would be showing off too.
Yeah, I would think that we get under their skin just a little bit, and I guess that shows. I don't really want to give a spoiler, but the chase card had the hot rounds today. Unfortunately, you won't get to see much of that. We are Lead Card Productions, after all.
Not to be confused with chase card.
Yes, all you guys on the chase card, don't shoot so good next time.
Yeah, try to keep the hooting and hollering at a minimum.
Yeah, we're trying to film some serious golf here.
Yeah.
But you can only kind of hope to get anywhere down the fairway without hitting a tree here on this par 4. This is the first of the safari holes on this layout.
Yeah, this is not normal Creekside.
No, if you're looking at this and going, what the heck is going on?
This is Creekside when you're tired of playing Creekside.
You gotta get creative. They just put this placement in for hole 2, so you will get to play this sleeve on a regular basis, but just not from the tee pad of
Yeah,
11.
just the opposite end of the park.
Yeah. Super fun pin placement, though.
It's pretty good. I think I used to land on this anthill more when there was no basket there.
Right? It goes long where there's no basket when you need to be short. Yeah, and man, giving it a run here, it'll fall right off the backside.
Yeah, it's rarely a friendly roll down over there.
Yeah, so if you're thinking about a birdie on this hole, you really have to be in the grass, like Josh is right there. I mean,
Yeah.
Chris even hit the basket and rolled to where he was there.
Yeah, WTF, man.
Was that the camera, guys? I thought I was filming from pretty far away, but second hole, you know. And Josh Newton takes the lead.
Well, this hole hasn't really changed that much. All they did was put the tee pad about 50 feet back from the actual tee pad.
That being said, the tee pad was under a tree and next to a big tree, so now there's a very tight window and then a long fairway proceeding. So,
Yeah.
it's still very difficult. Not to mention the ceiling. Because you really can't go up and over there. I mean, a lot of people may be looking and saying, I could go up and over that olive. It's where the pin is.
Yeah. Those Russian olives have a lot more branches in them than you can see.
And you can't really Simon Lizotte up over that Mando tree because...
Well, lefty Simon Lizotte
Yeah.
would do just fine, I think.
Lefty Simon Lizotte can park this hole.
Yeah.
Yep, Chris tickled the trees right above the tee pad. And he probably would have got a birdie if he would have played from the tee pad with that upshot.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't look like Josh minded the tap-in par.
Yeah, just holding on to that lead. Yeah, Kevin's second shot. It goes in.
Very nice. A make is a make. Yeah, and Tyson's second shot really did sail pretty far past. So even though it didn't look that long, that was a circle's edge putt. Trees in the way. Yeah, and by stretching that hole out that much further, you see a lot more scores like that. One birdie off a really nice drive and a good putt, and everybody else just kind of hangs on and gets what they can.
Yeah.
So here is the next safari hole that we're going to play today on this layout. Kind of takes away the signature Sleepy Hollow hole, but then adds it with the next signature over the river hole. So I'm actually a really big fan of this par 4. Because it's one of those shots where you basically have to park the first placement and then park the second placement in order to get a birdie. So to get a birdie on this hole, you almost have to birdie, would have had a birdie 2 holes in a row.
It's a lot of park jobs to ask from anybody.
Well, Mike Milne, you got the first one out of the way.
This would have been so good.
Yeah, and I don't know if I'm really a big fan of this sidearm shot for this hole. I mean, the river's right over there. And there you have it.
Yeah, that's why they call it Creekside.
Mike Loya's caddy spotting out where that disc went out of bounds. Here's Kevin's second shot. He hit a tree right off the tee, so he's actually lying 3 right there on top of the tee pad.
Tell you, if there's one way to get out of trouble, you can just ask Chris about that shot.
Yeah, that was a really nice sidearm.
Looking for a little more turnover, but I think he could make something happen with that putt.
And this is a good reason why I really like this hole as a par 4, because you have Mike's shot over the behind the tee pad, and then you have Josh's shot from behind the tee pad, and Josh actually lands on top of a pin placement that we have for that hole.
Yeah, this is going to happen quite a bit because the average pin placement for each hole is about 4 to 6 placements.
Sure.
This park can take a long time to play all the combinations.
Yeah, you'll play a lot of rounds at Creekside before you play the same layout twice. You'll play for many years. That shot that Kevin hand threw was awesome, and one of our locals, Nemo, was right by us when we were throwing it, and we both thought it was in the whole way. It just kind of flashed behind the basket. Chris is not going to like that. He has put himself right behind the tree. And Tyson making himself work a little bit harder too.
Let's see, what's this black disc? I think that's a wizard. Just barely. That was the line.
Yeah, Annie all the way. That was such a good putt.
See, here's a bowling putt. I've been working on this, but not executing it as easily as Mike makes it look.
When I saw him putt like that, I pointed right over to you, and I'm like, check that out. He's got it down. Well, if he would have made it, I guess, but...
Yeah.
Dang, Chris must have split those 2 trees to hit the rim on that putt. And a par feels like a birdie, even though it's a par 4 there.
Yeah. this is a heavily wooded course.
I would be interested to hear how many birdies there were on that hole throughout the tournament.
Would be. Let's just take a guess. 3.
3. I was going to say 2. Alright, now I wouldn't really call this a safari hole. It is something that gets played in tournaments often, but it's down the fairway and then across the entrance to the park to the practice basket and practice facility.
And this is a double mandatory, where you can't put your disc out over the road for a big skip. And you do have to stay away from the parking lot there, where you saw that RV. You don't want any discs going into the lot.
Yeah, the no parking sign is fair game. That's not where the Mando is, but... I've played a lot of rounds where the Mando's not in play, and people will make it on the island skipping off the road, but it's, Mother's Day, and people got places to go. We can't have everybody skipping off the road all day.
Yeah, we had enough skips yesterday with Joy Reid's shot.
Yeah, we had enough close calls with one's placement and one's tee-pad. I think 3 players were claimed that they almost hit a car, and Dave Roper claims that he actually hit a bus. UTA came cruising down, and you're not going to skip over the top of one of those things.
Oh gosh, was it a bus? Through the grapevine, it was a Ferrari.
Was it a Ferrari? Maybe that was yesterday when I played with somebody and they hit a bus on hole 1.
I think it was that he hit 2 cars. I don't know. Let's not incriminate him anymore.
Yeah. It went in the sunroof, up the Ferrari, and landed in the lap of the girl who came and caddied for him for the rest of the round. Josh gonna lie 3 right there. And that's a really good shot. There's a ceiling you can't really see, a pine tree kind of ceiling that protects the pin right after you cross the street. So as you can see, Kevin just trying to keep it low, keep it on a hyzer skip. And you can see the ABC News guy there, right about the same camera angle.
Yes. But at this point, we didn't know who he was. We thought he might have been just someone trying to take over lead card's jurisdiction over here.
Yeah, who does this guy think he is? Show up after the first 5 holes and take over our tournament coverage? No, I mentioned to him that these were the guys to follow because this is where you're going to see all the action. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, that putt made the news.
Now that they all clean up, we get to see their scores.
Birdies all around, almost. So this is my favorite news coverage hole. I don't think I could deal with some of the pressure that these guys had to deal with here. But very long, very low ceiling, all the way 375 feet.
Yeah, this is not much of a safari hole. This is just an actual pin placement.
Yep, okay, there he is.
Yeah. Alright, don't hit the camera guy.
Don't forget there's a Mando that way. Oh.
Yeah. Might have had a distraction.
As long as Mike's been playing, though, I mean, he's got to be, cold as ice. I wouldn't think anything gets under that guy.
At this point, Mike did not know who that guy was, and he was asking me if he needed to take him out for me.
Yeah, so hear that? We got our players on our side all the way. Even if they hate us on the course, following them over. following them all around. I'm sure they don't hate us. We just add an element of difficulty that...
Yeah, it's just that anticipation afterwards that they're like, well, this is my score. This is how well I did. Now what? Well, let me go look at it.
Yeah.
In motion video.
So still pretty tricky if you hit the tree in the fairway in the middle. That's Mike still about 45 feet shy. Kevin's down low because there is just trees that cover the entire fairway of this hole.
You know, every one of his shots from outside 30 were just seemed like they were about to go in and missed by an inch.
Yeah, I'd like to see that guy on fire. Yeah. Mike hits the rim. Here's Chris for 2.
Oh, snap.
Yeah, the 10-meter line is right in front of that tree trunk. I know because I've putted it. So that was a tough one to miss. And same with Tyson. He was right inside there. But Josh Newton's comfort zone, to say the least. And that putt, ladies and gentlemen, made the nightly news as well.
Did.
Tap in for bogey. Made the nightly news.
Yeah, it was very nightly. It was nightly twice. Hole 15. This is usually hole 19 for this 20-hole standard course.
Yeah, and this is one you're looking to get 2 in a row when you want to finish up your round at Creekside. You're thinking, I'll get 19 and I'll get 20. But when it's the Creekside Open, it is just a little bit harder to get it down the fairway.
Yeah. Creekside Open, in how wet it is, how wet it's always been.
Yeah, how wet it was all morning and all day yesterday. Yeah, conditions are definitely unfavorable for tournament plays, obviously. But it really does just add that much more of a degree of difficulty. I mean, you'll see a lot of these guys, they want dry discs all the time. It's really tough to keep it dry. I mean, you don't think about it, but the cuffs of your pants are wet by your shoes. You know, your jacket's wet.
Might as well just keep your discs in a bucket of water.
Well, you know, I think there's some merit to that. I actually like to putt with a wet putter. Good thing that didn't go in. That was a questionable foot fault there. I guess when it is rainy, they will give you that. Oh, and I'm surprised that missed strong side from Josh.
No, yeah, you'd think 45-footer would just go right in as usual. See, as the rain was getting a bit, it was coming down a bit harder, sometimes these guys would forget to take their hood off in the middle of their throw.
Yeah, that always messes up your peripheral vision and, your backswing and everything.
Yeah.
All right, signature hole number 16. Signature hole number 20. What hole is this?
Well, it's so ingrained in my head that this is hole 20, but it is not. Even though we have put graphics on the screen to tell us, I seem to forget.
Well, this tee pad isn't that familiar. They did stretch it back, about 100 feet or so. But Josh Newton pretty much playing it just like as if the tee pad was 320. Or is it shorter than that? 260 or something. Anyway, it's quite a stretch from back there. Chris putting all of it on it and still coming up short.
Here's Kevin. See, he should put his hood down.
Yep, it was the hood. He went right into the brand new trees. The biggest gallery of the day here on this rainy day. Look how many umbrellas you can see in this shot. This one, and then when we get to the pin.
For a guy that's only been playing for a year, that's one of the nicest backhands.
I tell you, it's long from back there. For him to get that much distance is a really good throw. Look how long these putts are from Kevin and Mike.
They're only off by a foot or two.
I don't see too many people putt like Tyson, though. That little feet together right at the end, I can see how that could be really effective. Chris is the one that putted that for birdie. Just can't seem to get his foot on the gas pedal. Mike Milne, I think that's his 8th par in a row.
Well, sometimes you just gotta wait for the other guys to make some mistakes.
Yeah, definitely.
When weather's this much of a factor, it's a pretty good way to play.
I've been given that advice for lower divisions, but I think rainy and fair weather situations could be a good style too.
Yeah.
Here's hole 17. This is a temporary hole that I've never seen before. This is the very first time we've played a hole like this at Creekside.
Yep. They just put up some fresh lumber, a level space for a basket, very close there to the pavilion.
Yeah, still kind of your classic ceiling Creekside shot, side hill lie when you putt. These guys make easy work of this short par 3. I really like that basket stand, though. I could see that being utilized in a lot of different situations.
Yes, that may not be the only hill it hangs out on.
Well, Josh Newton has got his foot on the gas pedal. 4 under so far for the round. He's got a 4-stroke lead.
Well, yeah, do take notice that this is a triple Mandy.
Yeah, just to see what the basket looks like down here. This guy that I have no idea who it is made this putt.
He looks like a Joey.
This guy Joey.
Just squeaking by through the Mandy and nicked a branch.
Yeah. Better than taking a stroke. Yeah, Kevin doing the same thing.
Yeah.
I gotta take my goddamn hood off when I throw.
Better than taking a stroke. The way the camera's set up, I kind of hope to display how much of a left to right this hole really plays. I mean, it's a backhand Anheuser shot. If it's not straight, I mean, it's got to be dead straight.
Yeah, you'd have to throw a bullet forehand in a very small hole to get this to lay underneath the basket. Well, nobody missed the Mandy.
And the sidewalks are playing OB on this hole as well. Oh, and that one just daggering short. He thought it was in. He's ready to make birdie. Hood goes on. Josh Newton making one of his routine putts. Oh my gosh, those go so close. How does he even get that much power on it? That disc will lie inbounds.
I think I've asked him before. I think he said it's muscle repetition.
Yeah, and if you go short on this hole, I mean, you're just pretty much laying up for par. Tyson looking like he put so much more effort in, even though he was half the distance as Josh. And these guys are going to clean up on the 9th hole of the day. So that just is going to conclude our front, back 9, first 9 coverage of the Creekside Open.
Thanks for watching.
It's really hot in this car.
Yeah.
So we'll do more on the back 9.
That was fun.
That is